What's going on, YouTube and all of my followers and fans and family and UB family and everybody else that's watching? I'm going to try and keep this video very short because I know how it is nowadays, and for you to be interested in my videos, you probably have to get in somewhere where you don't feel like you're dedicating your whole life, and 20-minute videos are not a way to get into things. So let's just try and keep it under 10. We got about 10 topics I'm going to talk about, all pertaining to relationships. Now let me just start off by saying I'm not a relationship guru, but I do feel like I have something to offer because I'm super empathetic. I am getting older, and a lot of things I have, because I've met some people in my life that I really like, it's helped me strive to want to be a better person, so much so that there have been things that I've known but I haven't put into practice until recently that I feel like I've really been able to get the benefit from because I've been practicing them. So thanks for the people that are in my life that make me want to be a better person, because I wake up every day now and feel like a better person. And that's why I make these videos, because, or at least I'm going to start making videos like this because I feel like I have a lot to offer in terms of, you know, just empathy and people understanding. Anyways, number one, let's get physical. I think this is a great thing. I think it can be the biggest pleasure and biggest reward, but also the biggest enemy overall. Yes, you must have a physical relationship, but in the beginning, if you really want to strengthen your relationship, maybe break the barrier, do some shoulder nudging and stuff, but hold off for a lot of the big things like the kissing, the making out, as long as possible. Because if you want to strengthen your relationship, you don't want to feel like you're being used. You don't want to feel like you're using them. You want to keep things strong and connected, and do whatever you feel like is necessary. But physical, be careful with that, but communicate every step of the way when you're talking about getting physical. Number two, smile like you're on camera. I think this is great. Smile like you're on camera. I think it's great because when you're smiling like you're on camera, you're trying to portray the best version of yourself as possible, which is exactly what you want to do in a relationship while still being honest. Now, eventually they're going to figure out that you're not perfect, and that is a disappointment, but also a relief at the same time. For some, it's not a disappointment. For some, it might be. You might want to get yourself checked out and your relationship, but smile like you're on camera. You want to be normal. You want to act like you're a human, but at the same time, portray the best version of yourself possible. Be easygoing and honest and kind and nice. Act like you are just the person that they need, that they need in their life, which be you. So try and be that for them, because overall that's going to improve everything about your life and your relationships, but more so the one you're in, because you're awesome and you're not going to mess this one up. So more power to you. Number three, say you're sorry. Saying you're sorry is one of the most powerful things in the universe, because it helps the other person know that you have a heart and you're admitting your mistake, you're admitting your fault, and you are apologizing because you like that person so much and you respect them that you are okay being vulnerable. I think being vulnerable is something very special, and when you really feel vulnerability at its core and its finest, that you say things like you're sorry or you're right, I was wrong, and it's a really powerful thing, and it develops a connection and a bond between people when you give that pride in yourself up, saying you're wrong and stuff, because that's kind of what it is. It's you saying you're wrong for once when you're used to being right, or you swallowing your pride and working on the better for you too, rather than trying to be Mr. Right or Mr. Defensive or Mr. Resentment. You don't want to be any of those. Number four, looking good. I love this one. I think everybody should take care of themselves. I'm currently working on getting back into shape and getting the big muscles, but more so just back in shape and looking good for myself and my girlfriend. But I think it's very important to look good, feel good, because it increases your confidence. And you know what they say, when you're confident, 9 times out of 10 everything else falls into place. Because if you don't feel confident, you feel ugly, you feel bad, and from that, feeling bad is going to transpire into so many other negative things, and that's just going to be a big ball of negativity. So look good, feel good, and that is the basis for everything else. Just put in the effort, eat healthy sometimes. Everyone's different. Do what you got to do, but put in the effort, because why would somebody else want to put effort into you if you don't put effort into you? So keep that in mind. Number 5, listen to your partner. I think this is great. I could talk for ages about this. I might make a different video about listening, but more so just very short and sweet. I think listening to your partner is very, very simple and complex at the same time. What I mean by that is simple because all you have to do is listen, but some people don't know how to listen. Listening, I think that you have to not only really hear everything that they're saying and processing and thinking all at the same time, which is why it takes energy. I remember I've spent days listening to people and I actually felt exhausted even though I didn't say anything, because I was actively listening, processing, and then coming up with a response to that is like scholar type response, because I was truly listening. And I think that's what you need to do. Act like you're writing an essay and you're trying to, the headline, your question is what they're saying, and then your response is that essay. You want to give the best possible response possible, and the only way to do so is to really listen, decipher what they're saying, and really figure out what it is that they're asking of you or what's wrong, things like that. Really listen, because sometimes meanings are hidden in there and you have to figure it out for yourself. Number 6, have outside support and interest. This basically just means have family that has your best interest at heart. Have good friends, because if you don't have good friends, nothing good is going to come from that. Let's say you're out with your girlfriend and your friends don't really have your best interest at heart. They know, and they just want your time and attention. So they're trying to peer pressure you into come hanging out with them and doing whatever. That's not good, because then you're going to be unhappy, and it's just, if they had your best interest at heart, they would want you to be happy. But typically, if your friends have your best interest at heart, then and they're there for the long haul, then your girlfriend or boyfriend will typically meet them anyways and hopefully become close in the future, best case scenario. So also keep that in mind. Number 7, do fun things together. This is more so along the lines of maintaining a relationship, but even when you're starting one, and building one, you want to do fun things together, because it'll really capture the moments that you guys were in your youth, and it'll really bring things back to a more innocent and reminiscent time when the relationship was young. You want to do fun things together because it allows you to build and bond and make moments and create memories together. It's really important for the soul. It's good for the bonding and strengthening. You get thrown at so many different scenarios and you get to tackle them together. You get to watch each other, gape and awe at the sight of like Mount Rushmore, whatever, it's just a good thing to do. And these things could be anything from going to the park and working out. This could be anything from, that to doing flips, learning how to do a backflip, maybe attending a cooking class, trying new things. Have your mind open at all times and always be open to the possibilities, because you never know what's out there. The world is a very big place and there are so many things that you just have not even explored yet. So always keep that in mind.
Nice.
Number 8, focus on the win-win scenario. This is more so what I was talking about earlier when you are trying to listen and communicate. You don't want to ever attack that person, and you never want to try and combat what they're saying about you or what they're complaining about with defensiveness. If they're telling you something that is wrong with you or your relationship, then you need to listen, and instead of being defensive, try your very best to fix the problem. Because if you focus on trying to hold your pride and be a man, I don't know, it's not going to be right. I think being a man more so is about being vulnerable and being able to communicate with your girlfriend and saying I'm wrong, you're right, what can I do, how do I fix this, how do I help, so basically just never try and attack her, and never feel like you're being attacked. It's a relationship, you should never feel like that. Just try and work things out, be calm, be smooth, smell like you're on camera, you know what I mean? Number 5 or number 4, I don't even know. Number 10, be respectful. Be respectful. Just ask. Back to being open-minded. I think if there's anything that you want in life, you should just go for it. And if it's in your relationship, then you should ask and go for it. Not go for it, ask. If they say yes, go for it. But remember, boundaries are key, because you don't want to explore everything way too fast. You'll be overcame with a dopamine, and then after you'll crash. And it's not that science says that. I'm just saying, it's not good. And I don't even have enough words or brain capacity left to explain why it is that is. But you know exactly what I'm talking about, so hopefully I don't have to go into that. but just ask. If you want to kiss them and you've kissed before, but it's still kind of early in the relationship, then just ask. It'll make them feel better because you respect them enough to ask, you know, because they can say no. Sometimes it is, I mean, 9 times out of 10, they probably, even if they don't want to, they probably still say yes because they'll feel so bad. But it's not even about that. It's the fact that you asked and you gave them an option. Because who knows, maybe they have the courage to say no and they will for whatever reason. Maybe they think their breath smells bad, you know, I don't know. But it's always good to give them that option and give them that respect going forward. So always keep that in mind. Just ask before you do anything. And that goes along the lines of everything else as well, more so than just asking for a kiss. That goes with everything else too. Number 12, not 11, abide by the 5-to-1 rule. Okay, this is a rule I've heard of before whilst doing research and stuff. This is kind of just talking about for every 1 negative thing you do, you have to combat it with 5 positive things, more so than just the 1-to-1 ratio that people think exists but doesn't really. So let's say you guys go on a bad date. You think that you can just make it up to her by tomorrow by giving her flowers. You know, it doesn't work like that. The ratio isn't 1-to-1. You know, for every negative thing you do, you have to make it up to her. You have to, if you guys go on a bad date, if you treat her poorly, you have to rebuild and regain that trust before you can even afford to lose again, you know, or afford to make a mistake again like that. But hopefully after reading and doing and going through all these tips, you won't make the mistakes like that because you'll be a gentleman and maybe I should make a video on how to speak English, but you'll know how to treat her right or him right. Number 3, I can't speak English. Number 13, drop the perfectionism. I think this is great. A lot of people do this nowadays. The millennials, the teenagers. I don't know. We all have filters and Instagram and Snapchat, and basically ways to portray the parts of ourselves that we want to be portrayed. So we try and put on this mask and version of ourselves that isn't factual, that isn't real. I think perfectionism is good when you're working, but I also think that when you're trying to be your truest self and build a relationship, that you have to show your true colors. Otherwise they'll never know the real you, and then whether you've lied to them or not, I mean, technically you have lied by putting on a mask, but they'll feel like indirectly that you've lied to them because you had on this mask, and now they feel like they're just, you know, they're not in an honest relationship anymore, and things are just gonna go down from there. So don't do that. You know, be the best person you can. Be honest, be nice, be the best version of yourself, and always strive to be better, but never put on a mask and never be someone that you aren't, because you aren't that person. That was the video, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed. I really do hope that you got something useful from this video. I'm gonna do more videos like this in the future. Let me know if it's too long or too short, or what you want me to do differently, but I really do hope that I can help you guys, because not that I'm some relationship guru or anything of the sort. I just think I'm a really empathetic person, and I've always thought about doing counseling or something of the sort, maybe motivational speaking, but I've always thought that I've had a great way of portraying my thoughts when I'm just rambling to whoever, and I can never really capture it to put it on social media. So I thought I would just put the camera on and see what happens. So I really do hope that I make someone's day today, and I help you guys out with whatever it is that you might need. But in terms of a relationship, I hope that you guys found these 12, 13 or so tips to be useful. And without any further ado, I will see you guys next time.